Hey everyone, welcome back to Pathfinders, a hiking podcast. I'm your host Brian, and today we're diving into avoiding crowds and discovering hidden gems. From fitness to safety to smart mapping, we've got you covered. Joining me is my colleague, trail educator and route tinkerer, Chad Welsh. Thanks for being here and for everything you do. We've all felt the pinch: packed parking lots, selfie lines, worn switchbacks. I want to talk about thinking differently, seasons, timing, and expectations, so listeners can find peace without losing scenery. What patterns do you see behind crowding, and how can hikers flip the script without going full hermit?
Crowding follows convenience and algorithms. If a trail is close to a city, paved to the trailhead, shows up first on listicles, and peaks on social media at sunrise, it will be mobbed on sunny weekends. The simplest shift is timing. Go early enough to need a headlamp for the first mile, or start at dusk for a twilight out and back with a firm turnaround. Weekdays beat weekends. Holidays are the worst. Then reframe the objective. Choose ridges, forests, mesas, and lakes that don't dominate postcards but deliver texture. Birdsong, leaf-off vistas, and big sky. Finally, think shoulder seasons. Late fall can be magic with empty trailheads, and winter desert mornings offer crisp air, zero bugs, and cinematic light.
I like that. Convenience and algorithms. Your point on reframing the prize is huge. When folks trade the postcard summit for a quiet saddle, the whole mood shifts. Let's layer in discovery tools. Everyone knows review apps, but the magic happens when you triangulate sources. Call ranger stations for current conditions and lesser-used access points. Check local trail associations for connectors not yet popular. Pull a paper map for the big picture, then stack digital. All Trails filters for distance and gain, Gaia or CalTopo for topo and land ownership, OpenStreetMap for faint paths, and the Strava Global Heat Map to gauge popularity. Dark lines mean traffic. Faint lines often mean solitude, if access is legal and terrain reasonable.
Exactly. On Heat Map, I zoom to the area, toggle activities to run and hike, and look for corridors with just a whisper of color. Then I cross-check in CalTopo with the Map Builder Topo and Public Lands layers to confirm legal access and spot alternative trailheads. That's where gems hide. Side roads, spur ridges, or connector trails that skip the main lot. I also scan contour lines for subtle saddles or benches where views open without a summit crowd. Before committing, I call the ranger about seasonal closures, logging operations, and water reliability. And I read recent trip reports for blowdowns, mud, or snow, so the solitude I'm seeking doesn't turn into avoidable Type 3 fun.
That's a pro workflow. The map shortcuts you just hinted at are gold for listeners. Spur ridges, benches, and saddles often hold viewpoints without the summit swarm. Unnamed lakes tucked below a ridge can be sublime picnic spots. On paper maps, I trace loop connectors, old roads, horse trails, or ridgeline traverses to turn an out and back into a small circuit. I'm also hunting for secondary trailheads, a longer gravel approach that shaves people, not experience. And I always overlay land ownership. Passing from national forest into private timberland may be legal today and closed tomorrow. Knowing boundaries keeps you ethical and ticket-free. When in doubt, call the district office. A 5-minute chat can save a long, awkward retreat.
One of my favorite hacks is building nearby alternatives to famous classics. Approach from the lesser-used side or reverse the route to move counter to the crowd. Link adjacent drainages with a saddle crossing, and you've got a fresh loop that shares scenery but not traffic. Seasonal tactics amplify this. In late fall, leaf-off reveals ridgeline windows and historic foundations you'd miss in July. In winter, adopt snow basics, traction or snowshoes as needed, conservative avalanche awareness, and a headlamp standard. Desert winters are prime. Early starts dodge heat, and you'll own the views. During mud season, protect trails. Start early while ground is firm, stay on durable surfaces, or choose rocky, well-drained routes.
That seasonality riff pairs perfectly with fitness for the rougher, quieter lines. When a route is less manicured, your body becomes the suspension. We coach 3 priorities. First, ankle and hip stability, single leg balance reaches, lateral band walks, and ankle alphabet drills 3 times a week. Second, downhill control, eccentric step downs and slow stair descents to bulletproof quads and knees. Third, real-world load, step-ups or stairs with a pack, plus short-loaded carries, 10 to 15 minutes at a brisk walk, to mimic deadfall detours, talus, and steep bursts. Sprinkle mobility between sets. The result isn't just fewer stumbles, it's less fatigue, which keeps judgment sharp when you're wandering spur ridges, scanning footing, and choosing that quieter campsite.
Gear matters more as the crowds thin. Non-negotiables. Paper map and compass you can use, plus offline GPS maps. A reliable headlamp with spares, extra insulation, repair tape, whistle, compact first aid kit, and season-specific extras like microspikes or gaiters. I add a tiny backup light and an emergency bivvy in shoulder seasons. Protocols tighten too. Share your plan and a turnaround time with someone who will notice if you're late. Check hourly forecasts and winds aloft, and verify water on recent reports and topo. Carry the 10 essentials and use our phone 3-2-1 rule. 3 battery checkpoints, 2 power savers on, and 1/3 reserved for emergencies.
That's a great list. And once you're off the beaten path, wildlife and plant awareness matters more, because you'll surprise each other less often. Regionally, think bears in mountain zones, snakes in rocky sun areas, ticks in grassy shoulders, and poison ivy or oak at lower elevations. Make noise when visibility drops. Soft conversation, a trekking pole tap, or a periodic, "Hey there." Store food properly, canisters where required, odor-resistant bags elsewhere, and keep packs closed even on quick photo stops. Check current advisories on denning seasons and closures. With ticks, treat clothing with permethrin and do full checks after the hike. Learn leaf shapes for poison ivy, and step on durable surfaces to avoid brushing into it while passing others on narrow tread.
Solitude comes with responsibility. In lesser-known places, leave no trace is non-negotiable. Skip precise geotagging. Describe landscapes generally so people do their own homework. Stay on durable surfaces, rock, snow, dry grass, and avoid braiding new lines just to pass a puddle. Keep group sizes small and voices lower than you think necessary. Sound carries on empty ridges. Park considerately, leaving room for turnarounds and emergency access, even if it means adding a quarter mile. Pack out micro-trash and dog waste. On the community side, channel that love into stewardship. Join local clubs, adopt a section, or sign up for trail work days. Responsible dispersal plus volunteer hours reduces crowding pressure and makes conditions better for everyone, not just those with the beta.
Love the stewardship call-out. There's also the inner stewardship, of attention. Quiet routes are a chance to reset the nervous system and hike more efficiently. On climbs, I match steps to a breath pattern. In for 2 steps, out for 2, then shift to 2 in 3 out when grade steepens. It steadies heart rate and prevents those redline bursts that burn matches early. I also run periodic awareness scans. 5 breaths devoted to sound, 5 to sight, 5 to smell. It nudges the brain off autopilot and deepens the nature connection we're seeking in the first place. Put the phone away unless you're navigating or snapping a quick photo. Fewer micro-distractions make the miles feel richer and shorter.
Let's land this with one actionable assignment for the month. Open Strava Global Heat Map and CalTopo, or Gaia. Pick a popular zone you know. Now find a nearby faint heat corridor, a low-use trail or connector that parallels the classic. In CalTopo, confirm the tread on map builder and land ownership, then link it into a 4 to 7 mile loop under 1,500 feet of gain using a saddle or spur ridge. Mark an alternate trailhead if possible. Drop the route to your phone for offline use, print a paper copy, and set a conservative turnaround time. Then hike it at sunrise on a weekday. Track people encountered, your breath pacing, and how your legs feel on descents. Afterward, note what you tweak and share highlights without precise geotags.
That's the playbook. Think differently about time and objectives. Research beyond the first search result. read maps for solitude clues, build nearby alternatives, and train the body for uneven miles. We covered seasonal tactics, leaf-off views, desert winter mornings, and mud season ethics, plus safety upgrades, the 10 essentials, the 3-2-1 phone rule, and wildlife awareness. We talked gear that buys margin when trails are quiet and tied it to mindset, breath pacing, attention scans, fewer distractions. Finally, we connected solitude to stewardship, small groups, low noise, smart parking, and giving back through trail work. If this helped today, follow the show and share it with a friend. Thanks for listening to Pathfinders. We'll see you out there, on the quieter side of the map.